Hello everybody, my name is Erin Walsh, Dyer, the bookkeeper's friend. Chances are you found this video because you're looking for some additional answers or maybe some knowledge in the new offering QuickBooks Online Advanced. Well, you've come to the right place. I have a passion for working in and teaching anything QuickBooks. Why? Well, lots of reasons, but mostly because the QuickBooks Online ecosystem allows a work-life balance that just wasn't available a few years ago. In my own firm, we encourage the work from anywhere lifestyle. So if you have small children, you can work from home. If you want to work part-time or remote, not a problem. Or if you're like me and like to travel a lot, you can work from the road almost anywhere. We also like to partner with other accounting firms no matter where they are in their journey. So if you're a larger firm and you need training for your team and your clients, we can help. Because I love the freedom of cloud accounting, I was really honored when Intuit asked me to write a series of webinars on their new offering QuickBooks Online Advanced. In this series, I cover how QuickBooks Online Advanced can accelerate data entry and help us better serve our mid-market, rapidly growing clients. I hope you enjoy them. If you ever have any questions or you want to learn more about our training series or you just want to talk shop, feel free to reach out to me in San Diego, Erin Walsh Dyer at the Bookkeeper's Friend. Enjoy your webinar.
Hello everyone and welcome to Serving High-Value Clients with QuickBooks Online Advanced. This is a great newer offering that Intuit has brought to us to help serve our clients and also better serve us as ProAdvisors. I'm really excited about this product, and I had a bit of an epiphany a couple of weeks ago that I'm actually going to start using this offering as a niche in my own practice. And I'll talk to you a little bit about that as we go through this journey together. So we're going to be together an hour. Let's get going. You may have reached us through the QB Training Events website. This is a screenshot of it. QB Training Events is a lot of free training that Intuit has put out for us as accounting professionals who are supporting QuickBooks Online clients. They call it the QuickBooks University. There are several offerings. There's a webinar, which you're attending now. You could go to webinars throughout the month. There's also in-person training. We look for us again in the fall. We're kind of going dark for a few months, but in the fall, we're going to go back out with the QuickBooks Online Masterclass, Grow Your Practice workshops, all kinds of good stuff. Go to qbtrainingevents.com and look for that. We also have the virtual conference. If you haven't attended that, it usually happens once a month. So the virtual conference is a nice place to get some of that content so you can get your questions answered for those exams. Also, we have webinars going all month as well. So a few other spots. Go to the QB QuickBooks Online blog to keep your hand on the pulse of what's new in QuickBooks Online. They roll out features quite frequently, and we want to know what's going to be rolling out before our clients do. So that's a great place to stay on top of that. Firm of the Future blog is another great spot where other ProAdvisors like us and people from Intuit are writing really good content to help us build our practice, learn about value pricing, how to convert from desktop to online, you name it. Really good stuff there. And then Intuit has given us also a marketing hub. This is content we can use to market and grow our own practice. So take advantage of all of these free resources for you. Now, this is one seminar in a series of 3. This is the first time in July we are presenting the Serving High-Value Clients webinar. We have some sister webinars going next week and the week after. The next one we're going to do is the QuickBooks Online Advanced in Action, a deep dive. That's next Wednesday on the 24th, same time, same bat channel. Never mind. Never mind. That was my Batman reference from the TV show. Anyway, same place. So please register for that. It's free. And I'm going to get into the QuickBooks Online Advanced a bit deeper than we are today. We're going to do a pass-through on it today. And then finally, if you don't want to make that journey with a client and move them to Advanced, we're going to talk about upgrading from an existing QBO offering to Advanced or converting from desktop. So we'll really dig in on that. Moving your clients to QBO Advanced is going to be on the 31st, so Wednesday again. So we have 3 Wednesdays in a row. Okay, register for all these that are already on the calendar at qbtrainingevents.com. They're all free. and you get free CPE. So first we're going to talk about who QBO Advanced is for. It is not for everybody. It's for the high-value mid-market client. So we'll get into that. And then maybe you already have one of these guys on your client list. So we're going to talk about how do you know if you have that high-value client already, and if not, where can we find them? And then see how Advanced, using QBO Advanced as a platform can help not only your client, but you, help you support them better. And then we'll talk about adding that menu to your services that you can, so you can go out and market and start bringing in these high-value clients. So that is our agenda today. I'm going to do a little bit of product demo, but not a whole lot. If you want really more, you're going to go to the deep dive next week. Okay, so who is QBO Advanced for? These are our learning objectives. Find out what a high-value client is, features, and then learn what types of business are thriving in this platform. It's not for everybody. So what is a high-value client? A high-value client is a client experiencing high growth. And I want you, by the way, while I'm going through this, think about your client list right now while we're going through this. There may be one or two already there. So they're experiencing high growth. They're willing to pay you to help them with the infrastructure and efficiencies. They're growing fast, they're busy, and they have a lot of data to key in or enter. They're also looking for key performance indicators or other reports that are going to help them meet their goals. So a high-value client needs somebody to help them with the right platform and the efficiencies so that they can stay in real-time accounting and then have somebody guide them through their growth. So we're looking for those guys. Okay, so how can QuickBooks Online Advanced help the high-value client? Well, reduce workload. We have some features in there that are going to reduce time spent entering invoices. You can do, you can add more users than you could before. So maybe they need more users in there entering all that data. And now we have 3 accounting firms. So all the way up to QBO Plus, we could only have 2 accounting firms. So maybe they do have that CPA and they do have that bookkeeper, but now they have a business advisor. So we'll get another firm in there, which is awesome. Staying in touch with the pulse of the business. So we do have the Fathom Smart Reporting feature that is part of the QBO Advanced offering. So that monthly fee that you would pay or your client would pay into it includes smart reporting. So we'll talk about Fathom a little bit later. And then more complex reporting. Sometimes people are pushing reports out to Excel to try and create something like maybe a cash flow projection. Well, now we don't have to do that. So saving us time as well. Instant access with questions. And this is the part that I've really leveraged in my company. I like doing support and helping my clients with questions, but Advanced comes with a customer success manager, which is an Intuit person who is there to help your client. They know them by the first name, they understand their business, and all the low-level questions I'm funneling to the CSM, and I will do the advisory level questions. So it has basically taken a lot of noisy inquiries off my plate, which for me, I feel like I got a free employee, honestly. So, and then there's on-demand training that's included as well, and this is also real-world training, who I used to work for, but now they are doing on-demand training for QuickBooks Online Advanced, which is basic training in QuickBooks. Again, we're taking stuff off our plate. We don't have to train our clients, they have it. So, this is what's in QuickBooks Online Advanced. I kind of breezed through it. But there's Smart Reporting by Fathom, which is an app that has been connected to QBO Advanced to give you really great reports, and I'll show you that in a minute. Maybe you have multiple companies, your client has multiple companies, and they want comparative or combined financials. Fathom's going to handle all that. Custom fields. This is a big one. The custom fields that exist in QBO only allow text at this point. We can set up custom drop-down menus, just based on our client's needs. So they've added 10 at this point. That doesn't mean it's all they're going to have, but that is where it is right now. Accelerated invoicing. If you have clients who have an outside system tracking sales and they are keying in invoices into QBO, and which, you can get data entry issues there as well. We can import hundreds of invoices in one pass from CSV. I'll show you that. And then there's another feature, if you don't have an outside POS system or sales system, but you want to enter invoices faster in QuickBooks Online, Advanced has the accelerated invoicing feature called multiple invoices. And you can enter multiple invoices for multiple clients all on one screen instead of hitting save and new, save and new. Okay, so we're fast tracking. We are going to have more user permissions if we're growing and we need people in there to help enter data. You get more user permissions that are customizable because we don't want people seeing everything, right? So they've enhanced that. And I'll talk about Priority Circle, which is something that comes with QuickBooks Desktop Enterprise Edition. For those of you who have clients in Enterprise, they have Priority Circle as well. We have it here in this offering for QBO. And then I already mentioned the third accountant seat. So we're opening up capabilities, which is going to help us with efficiencies and help support our clients. That being said, QBO Advanced is not for everybody. This was not built so that the person, the solopreneur who's just starting out, with their little shop should go to Advanced. Absolutely not. It was geared toward the top 5% of QBO Plus users. And those people are growing rapidly. Intuit's definition of that is 10 to 99 employees, something like that. They have complex reporting and accounting needs. They have high volumes of transactions, and they're probably bringing in gross somewhere between $500,000 to $10 million a year, right? That's not everybody. And when QBO Advanced first came out, Intuit put in usage limits for the chart of accounts and classes in QuickBooks Online Plus and Essentials. That is very controllable, and we'll get into that, I think, in the converting from desktop to QBO Advanced. I talk about that more, but if you help your client manage those lists, you don't have to go over those list limits. Making things inactive or merging them will reduce those list counts. So you want to make sure that they are being monitored or being managed, and usage alerts come up all the time. And I'll show you those in a sec. Also, for those of you who have nonprofits, their class tracking can go through the roof if they're doing funds or fundraisers and then annual fundraisers. And if they may go over those 40 classes very quickly, you should know that QBO Advanced is available on TechSoup, TechSoup.org, where you can get QBO Advanced for qualifying not-for-profits at $150 a year. So don't panic if you have not-for-profits out there. Check with TechSoup.org. Okay, so it's not for everybody. So understand that, and we have control over usage limits to keep those clients who don't need Advanced out of it. So who is thriving in this product? Usually project and service-based businesses, legal, architecture, real estate, nonprofits, like I mentioned, service-based. You can see this is kind of all services. Also, if we are a service-based person, so maybe this person is a janitor or they do lawn mowing service, if they don't have more than like 9 employees, they may not need Advanced, right? They're not meeting that model. So even though that is a service-based client, it's still too big of a product for them. So it's high growing, really, really busy service-based clients. And I have a client right now that I have in mind that needs Advanced. He's got an HVAC company, and he's got maybe 50 trucks going all around San Diego County, and he is growing fast, and he has an app helping him track his service, his vans and all that. So that guy, probably. The startup guy, probably not. So keep that in mind. It's usually service-based, though, and fast-growing. Now, I mentioned that it's not for everybody, and that is true. There are people that should probably stay in enterprise because of what they do. For instance, let's say manufacturing. I just got a new client who does manufacturing, and we're building their entire warehouse with inventory assemblies, and sometimes their assemblies go to another vendor and then come back to them, and there's a lot going on there. And Advanced, QBO Advanced is not for them, okay? So on this slide, I'm basically saying, okay, maybe that your client you're thinking is for Advanced, they're in enterprise now, they really want to be online. How do I make that decision for them? So I kind of drew up this slide to kind of let you know what's native to enterprise on the left, what's native to online on the right. The one that wins with the more robust feature is in green. So hopefully this will help you when you are assessing a client that could be an advanced or somebody who wants to go from enterprise to advanced. So some of them are the same, they have the exact same feature. However, user access, there's a lot of roles and permissions there, but there's only 17 user access roles in advanced. The price point's always really important. It's 150 retail for QBO Advanced, but that includes 25 users. If I need 15 users and I'm going to go to, and I'm in enterprise, the price point might be quite a bit higher than going to advanced. So that's something also to think about. You really need to map it out. Again, all the features that I'm about to show you, the smart reporting and the priority circle and the 25 users, that's all included with the 150. And by the way, that's retail price. You can buy it as a ProAdvisor for $105 a month, which is 30% off for the life of the subscription. Okay, so that's, hopefully this will come in handy for you guys later on. I've also put a slide in here showing the difference between QBO Plus, because maybe your client is there, but they do need smart reporting, or they do need custom drop-down fields. Maybe Advanced is worth the price point for them. So, or maybe they need that third accounting seat, I don't know. If they're entering more than 15 invoices a day, Advanced might be faster for them, which saves them money entering data. You know, they're not paying somebody to sit there. So anyway, something to think about. Here are the comparisons for online from Plus to Advanced. And that's an easy upgrade. Right now, I just pulled the screenshot off of the QuickBooks website yesterday. It's basically what the deal is now. Intuit's giving Advanced for $60 a month if the client pays. Again, if we pay, it's going to be $105 a month for the life of the subscription if pricing doesn't go up. This $60 a month is only 3 months. So that's the client pays $60 for the first 3 months, and then it goes up. Okay, so go ahead. That's just for your reference to see what the pricing is like now. Okay, so how do you know if you have a high-value client? I'm going to quickly jump over and just see if all the questions. Woody's helping me out with questions. Thank you, Woody. I just want to make sure we've got it. I'm just seeing if there's any questions I can answer before I move on, but it looks like Woody's on it. So thank you, Woody. And let's talk about you and me now. How do we know if we have that high value client? How do we know if that person's ready for an offering like this? And it may be that you're ready, not the client, because there's so much QBO Advanced ads that would save you and your team time that maybe you do want to throw this on your wholesale bill and start using priority care and that CSM. It may be worth the price point to upgrade for you. And also the reporting that comes in. Maybe you need it more than the client, right? So let's identify a high value client in your firm and then see what their definition is out there in the marketplace, so maybe you can go looking for them. So think about your client list, and this is a little bit of a call to action for you guys. Do you know a client that is experiencing high growth and business complexity? So maybe they are opening a new store. I have a client who has 4 sister companies, identical companies, and they need consolidated financials. That was the one thing they needed, and that's what made me think, hey, they might be a QBO Advanced client. They need advisory service. They're growing so fast, and they do what they do so well that they're growing, but they don't know if they should buy that new piece of equipment, or they don't know what cash is going to look like in 6 weeks. They need somebody on their team to help them make these decisions, or at least present them the information so they can make a wiser decision. Are they willing to spend money to get the right app or the right devices or software to give them efficiencies? And I can think of a few of my clients already who went out and got an app and is willing to spend the money because it saved them so much time in their processes during the day so he could focus on business growth. Simple solutions They want simple solutions for their complex business. They maybe have a family of companies like my client. They need better reporting, or they need reporting that alerts them if there's a problem, like maybe their volume went down. They went down by 5%. They normally do X amount of units a month. Maybe we need a report that warns us about that. That could be helpful. More users, if they're growing, they need more people paying bills or probably entering sales into QBO. More users, better permissions. Custom fields I mentioned, maybe you or they are pulling stuff out to spreadsheets to analyze. If we have customizable fields and better reporting here, we may not need to be doing that anymore. And then if they have more than 10 employees and they're growing. So these are just some of the indicators that you might already have one of these mid-market high-value clients in your firm. So hopefully this is ringing some bells for you guys. There are some other things to check. Remember I mentioned the alerts in QBO. I'll show you a screenshot of that. But now that there are usage limits in QBO, we're getting alerts. So I have a client who basically is on my wholesale bill. I don't do their books. I trained them years ago, and an alert came up in QBO saying that they are about to reach a list limit. That was my indicator to go talk to them. Hey, how's the growth going? Do you need help? Looks to me like they're either misusing their chart of accounts or they're just growing and they need all those rows. I don't know. So I'd have to go contact them and ask them about it. So anybody you see an alert on is, hey, maybe I should talk to them about how they're doing. Hopefully they're not misusing their chart of accounts or classes, but if they are, you can help them out with that. Price point is what's the QBO subscription fee? And if, let's say it is a manufacturer, they do want to go to QBO Advanced and they're going to go buy an app like SOS Inventory to handle the manufacturing, what's the cost of that? If they're in enterprise, what are they paying for hosting fees and extra users? You got to think about that too. And then compare all of that, the bundle of apps with QBO Advanced versus what they're using now, hosting, users, etc. Maybe the price point's even better. Who knows? So you got to do a little bit of that. Discover features your high-value client is using. So maybe they are in another offering and they're using custom drop-down fields in enterprise. That it is in enterprise. Is it available in advance? So take a look. And can a non-QBO feature be replicated with an app? And there's lots of apps out there, over 500 on apps.com right now, that could replicate whatever that feature is that's keeping them from going online. So are they doing more than 500,000 a month? I mean, a year, annual, sorry. Do they need more than 5 users? Do they post more than 10 invoices a day? Those are other indicators that Advanced might be a helpful offering for them. There is a little checklist I did on firminthefuture.com that basically says if you can check any of these boxes with a client in mind, they probably could benefit from Advanced. Either you or they could. And again, work out the price point, see if it's worth it. But go ahead and use that bit.ly link to go to that checklist. And maybe you can run through your client list or the clients you're thinking of right now and decide if this is the right move. This is just a screenshot of those usage limits in QBO. Keep an eye out for them. And then it says some of your clients might be going over usage limits. That's how I found that client who I haven't really spoken with in a few years. I just set them up on QBO, but they are in my wholesale bill. So I reached out to them. So look for those usage limits because it might be an indicator. Okay, so if maybe we found a few in our own client list, then let's maybe grow this. ProAdvisor leads are one way to see if they're out in the marketplace. Are they frustrated with reporting capabilities? Do they need training? Do they have complicated questions? Possibly a high-value client in the making there. Also, if you just want to, and we have the source documents for these, but right now there's 1.3 million mid-market businesses, meaning 10 to 99 employees. That's the target, guys, right there. That's the people who are doing well in QBO Advanced. I can tell you right now, there's not 1.3 million mid-market businesses using this platform. So take a look at that and see if you can maybe go out and find some of these businesses that are growing fast. And just some more information. There's 30 million small businesses. and 56 million self-employed. That's what we call the gig economy. These are all those people, a lot of them are using apps like Uber and Fiverr and things like that. They're doing little gigs. Growing field, but that's a whole other webinar. Okay, so let's just see how this offering can help. We'll talk about the features that are added to Advanced that are a step beyond QBO Plus. Okay, the first part is specialized reporting. So there's two topics in here. One of them is smart reporting by Fathom. I'll show you Fathom in a minute. I should also mention that Fathom has lots of free training. So if it's looking interesting, go to fathomhq.com, and go sign up for some of their free webinars. They have some really cool stuff, and that might be enough information to help you make that decision about this offering. So we can do cash flows, there's goal seek tools, there's consolidation, like I mentioned, KPIs where we can set targets, and if they're going under target, we get an alert. And there could be non-financial KPIs. Remember I said volume. We want to increase volume by 5%. If they're not meeting that or they've gone under something, it will warn us. And that's going to help us be better advisors. And then in QBO Advanced, they now have enhanced field customization. I already mentioned the 10 custom fields we can add for drop downs and things like that. So I will talk about both of those right now. So I'm going to jump over into QuickBooks Online Advanced Test Drive. I don't know if any of you know that there is a test drive for QuickBooks Online Advanced. Yes, indeed, there is. And so the difference, I can see it right away, is this priority circle menu is here. That means we're in advanced. But what we're talking about right now is reporting. So within QBO Advanced, click Reports, and at the top of the standard reports, they've added this, Smart Reporting, and you click Get Started. Now, I have to say, in the test drive, I can't get into Fathom. It basically opens a sample monthly performance report, which hasn't loaded. It's a PDF. I'll show it to you in a sec, but I have Fathom open here. This is actually a company I set up that's a fake company, but I brought it, connected my QBO Advanced to Fathom and brought some reports over. So Fathom is just pulling data from QBO. It's just syncing over. As soon as things are updated, I forgot how you can set it to daily, but you can make it more frequent. Bring this data over. So KPIs is something where we can set alerts. So as we set alert at operating profit margin should be 25%, we are running below. These alerts actually show up on a main alert page for the accounting firm showing all our clients and all the alerts on one dashboard. Honestly, that's very helpful for me. I mentioned that there's targets that we can set, so you can go in and edit these and just monitor what's going on here. Now, there are some other really cool things in here. To pull the data and give you that the ARAP, that kind of stuff, and give you a cash flow instantly. No more crunching that in Excel or taking it out to another app. And then this is my favorite. If you are going to be an advisor to these larger clients that need your help, you can set goals with them. This is a great tool for getting on a meeting with them and saying, hey, we want to make our profitability ratio go up to 23%. Set that. It's going to bring in some numbers from QBO and then say, okay, if we increase pricing by 1% and volume by, I don't know, 3, you see what's happening here? Variable costs down, we'll get rid of some fixed expenses if we can, but hopefully with a little bit of play in here, we're going to reach that goal and we can work with our client to get this done. Then set up budgets. You see how this tool, I mean, honestly, just the price point, putting this guy on my wholesale bill would be worth this tool alone. And that makes us more valuable to the client, and we can charge a lot of good money for advice and tools like this. So anyway, that's just a little bit about Fathom. It is connected to QBO now. You just click Get Started once your client is in the QBO Advanced offering. So I love that. I just love it. I love Fathom. It goes a lot further, but let's talk about custom fields now. So in custom fields, this is also not in Plus. You can have custom sales fields, like you can add sales rep to an invoice in QBO Plus, but you are at the mercy of whoever's keying in that field, because sometimes they could put in Joe's name, or they could put Joseph, or they could put Joe's initials, right? So this custom fields tool allows us to do those custom drop-down lists. So I'll just edit this one that I set up. This is in the test drive. I set it up right before we started, but I set up a sales rep with a custom drop-down list, and you can see I added 3 rows, and I want it added to the sales forms, but not to the customer. So when we go do an invoice now, I'll just show you an invoice really quick. We can then have a custom drop-down. We can get 10 of these in QBO Advanced. There's also, I'll just hit add field. You can have them added to transactions or customers, and you can also have it added to a vendor as well if it's transaction based. I just wanted to show you the different types. You could do a straight text field, a number field, so it forces them to use a number, a date field, or that custom drop-down list. So that is as it looks as of right now in product. Again, Intuit is building QBO Advanced based on our feedback. So please give feedback about any of these features that I'm showing you, because just like when Enterprise first came out in the early 90s, it is not what it was today. How did Enterprise get to where it is today? Well, because we gave feedback. So this is just the infancy of QBO Advanced, and you have to think about how it's going to help you in your firm service your clients better. So the import invoices tool can convert from Excel. So you might have another POS system or sales system, and we're going to get that data out to a CSV file and bring it in and speed up data entry and increase accuracy. So that's an import tool, but now we also have batch invoicing, and I'll show you both of those right now. So let's go to the import data. So it's the same import data field or screen inside the actual gear. However, they've added something if your client is in QBO Advanced. Okay, so all these are normally there, but on the right here we have import invoices, where we can then browse to a CSV and bring it in. There is a sample CSV that you can work with, but you would browse to it once you've got all that data. So get it in CSV, out of that POS system or wherever it is, paste it into, hang on, I might have it open here. No, I closed it. Paste it into the column, and then the next thing you know, you've imported hundreds of invoices in moments. Now, if your client doesn't want to import from another system, there is the option with this added tool to do multiple invoices. So this is working in QuickBooks Online Advanced, and here we can open up, let's say I'll go Amy's Burn Sanctuary, and we're going to put in her terms and all that, and then we can start adding products, services, whatever that is. And then we'll keep adding. If you go to these 3 dots, I can add an additional line item. And here, you can see it doesn't bring in the customer information again. I'm adding rows to an invoice here. Okay, so let's say we do this all day long, multiple customers. Let's go here and duplicate this invoice with 2 rows for multiple customers, and then we just start bringing in the customer list that we want to get this identical invoice for. Click next, and there we go, we're duplicating it. You can modify rows on the individual or add additional, right? But you can see how much faster that would be for a client who has lots of data entry to do and a lot of it being similar. But even just not hitting save and new, that's going to be a big difference. So again, we're speeding up processes and making sure that things are happening quickly. Okay, now we're going to talk about priority circle, and this is the one I've really leveraged. And I'm just going to go back a little bit and talk about high-value clients. These people need efficiencies, and I'm not even talking about bank feeds and bank rules in this, because that would be one of my absolutes. Get that done, get everything coded and posting fast and accuracy, and then we have time to support them on a higher level, on the advisory level. So we have the right platform in place to do that. And here, to free up even more time on the advisory level, is the CSM, who's the basic go-to person for the basic questions. So my clients who are on QBO Advanced at this point, I make sure they're introduced to their CSM, they know how to get in touch with them, and they're hitting them up first. They are not ever going to answer advisory questions. If it's beyond their scope, they're going to say, hey, go reach out to Erin for that answer, but here's the rest of your questions answered. Again, free employee, right? I love that. Priority care. If you have a client with 10 branch offices and they're busy and they're fast and they have a technical problem with QBO, do you think they're going to want to be sitting on hold for 15, 20 minutes or whatever it is? Of course not. This is the first class of technical support. It's the front of the line, and they only talk to the top-rated care agents that customers have rated as the best. So best of the best, and that works for me too. I've gone to priority care for a tech support issue, and they were right on it. By the way, if there ever is a tech support issue for this client, the CSM will follow up on that and manage the progress of that fix, whatever it happens to be. So again, they're helping us with the entire client experience here. And then the training is so important. You want to make sure people are doing the right workflows, so get them in there, have them watch those basic videos, and then everything's going to be standardized for these clients. I just want to show you Priority Circle. So Priority Circle is right up, not there, right here. This is not the real CSM that I use with my clients, but there is a phone number there. Click through, you can make an appointment with them or send an email directly to that person who is on a first name basis with you and the client. Front of the line access to technical support, and if you want, you get an access code to those 5 courses that are on the real world training. That will jump you here, you put in the code, and they can start watching those basic training videos. Again, it's taking the basics off of my list, and then I can start offering more high-value stuff. We've got the base, we've got QBO Advanced, we've already got bank feeds going and all those efficiencies with rules. Now we've got them supporting our client with care, and we've also got all these efficiencies happening. So let's talk about our menu. So these clients are not afraid to pay for our advice. So we've got the tools there. Let's start using it. So are you doing any of these things already? Learn the tools in Fathom and how they can benefit your client, and then set those advisory sessions with them. You can set them weekly, monthly, quarterly. How much are they willing to pay for that? If they want you weekly, you're going to do a higher price point to help them plan their growth. Show them the Goal Seek tool. I love that thing. It also can help you determine what you're going to do for the next budget and things like that. Use custom fields to build those granular reports they need. Maybe they need to know when a renewal date for their membership. Who knows? It could be all kinds of things. Create fee-based report packages. So you might be setting up custom reports out in Fathom and set these packages you can do very easily over there and save them and then charge for that, even though Fathom's pretty much creating them for you. Support, like I said, go to the CSM for the basics, partner with them for high-level questions they can't answer, and then add support packages. This is what I do. All my trained clients, I put on a VIP support package. They pay me monthly on the first automatically, and they reach out to me anytime with a question. So I use Slack to talk to my clients, which is a messaging system, but that's a value add, and they would love to have that access to you. So that's why we give them these tools, and then they can reach out to us when they really, really need something and they're not guessing. Of course, use the basic training, but then your client might need custom training. And that's what I do. I love building custom training for the client specifically. And that's really what I do in my firm now. And we can either videotape custom training for them, or do custom coaching packages where we go through their training, or even create little handouts or booklets so when they hire that new employee, they have a guide on how to enter data. So add those. Those are the cream of the crop. Are going to get this high value things that's going to help them be efficient, make sure they're not making mistakes, make sure they're not guessing. They're referring to us as part of their team. So build a suite of advisory services. I've really kind of gone through this, but think about more about how this client needs you. The screenshot on the right is from Fathom, and it's showing a list of customers, my clients, up and down. and then all the alerts we've set. So I have a dashboard, and if they're, let's see, if, let's say their profitability for cloud hosting has gone, is not at our target, I can see that right here, and I could click through, go see that report, and it would open the KPI, and I could look at it and get on a call with that client. So it's helping us be that advisor very, very quickly. And I mentioned advisory services, and I mentioned custom report package. Think of this, and this is where I'm changing my bookkeeping business. I could have 100 bookkeeping clients at $400 a month. Great. Okay, that's a good month, right? I'm doing good. Or what if I had 10 high-value mid-market clients willing to pay for this kind of support, and they're paying close to $4,000 a month as a part of their team and helping them grow. CFO to go kind of stuff. Think about that. What would you rather have, the 10, or would you rather have 100 clients scrambling around? So this is where I'm already working on my business model and thinking about changing it. So this is actually, if you think about it, you can use QBO Advanced as a niche. Okay, so here's some other stuff. VIP support. I mentioned that I use Slack. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Slack, it's just a messaging system. It can pop up on my phone or on my computer. And I have a specific channel where I talk to each individual client. So one client can't see another client's conversation. But if they have an issue, bam, they put a message in Slack, and I can see that right away. I charge a premium for that. If they don't want that, instant access to Erin, then, they don't have to have it. But that costs a little extra money than me meeting with them once a month. Only offer that to highly trained clients, by the way. If it's somebody brand new to QuickBooks Online and they're asking, how to pay a bill, you don't want them on that. VIP support is only for people who are highly trained, that you've gone through all their processes and they understand what's going on in their own business. And then leverage that priority circle training, use the free videos, and then add your own custom work on top of that. Personalized training guides, like I said. Standardize that training throughout your practice. So if you're going to have those 10 clients in advance, you want them all doing the exact same basic work with the few customizations that each might need based on what they're doing over there. So add that training. But boy, use that free stuff. Okay. All right. So being a high-valued ProAdvisor. So let's go back to the beginning here. A high-value client is experiencing high growth and is willing to pay you help them with infrastructure, efficiencies, performance indicators like the alerts and things like that, and all of this advisory that can go on top of it to help them meet their goals and make wise decisions as they're growing, and they're not afraid to pay for it. I love the analogy is I can get from LA to New York on a plane. I could pay for coach or I could pay for first class. It's the value of getting from one point to the other and my experience doing that. These high growth clients, these mid-market clients need help and they need our advice. So a high-value ProAdvisor then would seek out and nurture high-value clients. And I appreciate you all taking the time. So let me take a look at a few questions. And it looks like Woody's been really good. Let's see. Are most of your clients serviced remotely? What percentage are face-to-face? I love that question. I use Zoom meetings, and I would say personally have met maybe 1-2% of my clients in face-to-face. Everything comes through the ProAdvisor directory or referral, and we meet remotely. I have Acuity scheduling, schedule my appointment automatically. They pick a time. From there, Acuity creates a Zoom meeting. They get automatically emailed with the Zoom meeting, and we meet online, share screen. So thanks for that question, Norm. I rarely meet a client face-to-face. I always like it when I do, but very rarely. So thank you for that. Let's see. So as your client has staff turnover with the new staff, they could watch the training. Absolutely. Isn't that amazing? And then if you have custom training that you're putting on for that high value client, you could do it as a pay-per-click, or charge them a premium for that custom training and maybe a quarterly or annual update because their needs change. So you're going to update the training annually, bam, a year to keep it current. Or maybe you annualize that and take a little bit every month, and then you can always be making tweaks and changes to that custom training. So that's a great, that's why I really love the fact that you can get those videos, get the basics handled. Yes, and Deirdre asked about multi-currency. Yes, Advanced does handle multi-currency. And by the way, the conversion tool from desktop to online edition will convert multi-currency to online. So that's kind of cool too. And then obviously Advanced if you're going to upgrade them to there. All right, let's see if there's any other questions. Yes, Melinda's asking, when did this product come available? I can't say the date, but I think it was somewhere around spring of this year. It's only maybe 6 months old from what I remember, but if Woody wants to chime in on that, he may know exactly when that happened. What does it mean it can take multi-companies? Okay, I think, Krista, you're asking about the consolidated reporting in Fathom. So basically, my client has 4 sister LLCs. He has 4 subscriptions to QuickBooks Online Advanced, so he's paying for that. Great. But he also has Fathom, and each company gets Fathom as well. You can create a group in Fathom and run a comparative profit and loss statement for all 4 companies so he can gauge which of his companies is doing better in different areas. And that's kind of great because on the one dashboard, he can say, oh, the cost of goods sold is a lot less here. Why? And then, again, making decisions based on how he's comparing or benchmarking his multiple companies. The job costing feature in QBO Advanced or Plus is the same as QBO Advanced. Cheryl, I'm not sure if you've used the project feature yet, but now, and you should also know that the payroll within QuickBooks Online, if you use their QBO payroll, now will job cost payroll. So it has to do with how the time card is entered. Use the time card to the job, that pushes the payroll. It will job cost payroll. You might want to turn on the projects feature in one of the test drives and test that out as well. Okay, one more question about divisions. If it's a single company that has different divisions, you might consider class tracking for that. But if they have different QBO companies, then push all 4 companies over to Fathom. And by the way, you don't have to be in Advanced to use Fathom. You can add it to QBO Plus or something else. It's just you're going to have to pay for the app separately. But you can use Fathom on a non-Advanced client if you want. It's just included with Advanced. Okay, I think we're past the hour. Thank you all so much. Hopefully I'll see you guys next week or on the 31st. If not, maybe in August to finish up this series. So thank you all for attending. It was a great morning. Have a good day. Bye.
Thanks for watching today. There is so much opportunity with this powerful new version of QuickBooks. We have just scratched the surface of QuickBooks Online Advanced. Feel free to reach out to me, Erin at bookkeepersfriend.com. I would love to hear from you. You can also join the conversation. Join our QuickBooks Online Advanced Slack channel to give your feedback and ideas. Look for more from me on this channel.